Hello everyone, it's Kari, and today I have a really fun fall card to share with you using these new stencils from Missing Stamps. This is the Perfectly Plaid stencil, and this one is the Diagonal Stripe stencil. And I'm going to use this for the background, and then I'm also going to use these pumpkin spice gnomes. I love these. These are from a previous release, and also the pumpkin spice sentiment set. Today I'm going to use just one that says it's time for pumpkin. So let's get started on building this background, and this is a pretty easy card to make, but I'm going to add some glitter, of course. So let me show you. We're going to start out by inking up this background, and I've got a couple of shades of kind of a turquoise. I'm starting with Salvage Patina in the center, and then I'm going to get darker around the outsides. So I have peacock feathers here, and then I'm going to go all around the outside of this piece. I'm moving my magnets as I go. No worries, just keeping that stencil down here with my finger. I did not spray this one with pixie spray, and it worked out just fine for me. But I did have to keep moving those magnets around. So here's the Mermaid Lagoon, just going to bring that in around the outside edges, and there you go. So pretty. I like having that gradient look to the background. And now this is the fun part. I'm going to use the Diagonal Stripe stencil to add a little glitter. And for this one, I definitely use the pixie spray. But before we do that, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. This way I can mask it off before I add that glitter. And I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So let me stamp this pumpkin. This is a larger sentiment in that set, and I'm just going to stamp it a couple of times with this black ink, my favorite black ink right now. And then I'm going to put the smaller sentiment right here on top. It says time for, so the whole sentiment will say time for pumpkin. And I stamped them separately so that I could make sure I liked the spacing and how far apart that was from the pumpkin. And that's going to work out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that a few times right there on top. So that says time for pumpkin. I gave it a little bit of time to dry, and now I'm going to take some mint tape and just mask over that sentiment. This makes sure that I'm not going to get some of the glitter over the top of the sentiment. And now I'm going to line up the stripes and cover up some of those plaid stripes there with this one so that I get a glittery stripe in between the other plaid. Now you can do this with whatever you have on hand for glitter. Today I'm using the Glitz glitter gel, and this is the iridescent glitter gel. And look how soft and glittery that is. I added that off camera and went and cleaned up my tools, and so here it is, and I'm going to set that aside to dry. I wish you could see the sparkle a little more on camera, because in real life this card is stunning with that extra glittery goodness to it. But you all know that I love my glitter, right? So this one's great because it's in a glitter gel and it doesn't get all over the place. Just adds a subtle shine to the background. I'm going to color up my pumpkins all the same way, starting with the darkest orange, which is YR09, going in with YR15, and then blending that out YR02. Once I got the first layer done, I went in again with the darkest color. I like to do this because I think it really makes the image pop when you add some darker shading. So I'm going back through with all of the colors once again. So this is the darkest YR09, then again with the YR15, and over the top once again with the YR02. So I did all of the pumpkins exactly the same, so I just kind of skipped over that. For his beard, I made his beard brown, and normally with gnomes, I make their beards gray. So today, I specifically told myself, you're going to make this one brown. So for the browns, I used the E57 and E55, and the same colors on his shoes. I went ahead and colored the underside of the mushrooms with a couple of shades of blue, and I also colored the leaves with greens and blues. And now I am going to color the tops of the mushrooms with YR21, 31, and Y00. These are going to be kind of traditional color, I would say, a little bit brighter than traditional mushrooms would be, but blue undersides. I think that's really pretty. And then I decided to use these same colors on his hat so that we have kind of a cohesive color scheme to this. I tend to use oranges and blues together quite often because they are complementary on the color wheel. And so the blues and the oranges, the background is blue, the pumpkins are orange, and that really makes this card sing and come together really well. So here's the coloring of the gnome's hat. Just doing some simple coloring, adding a few darker shades where his hat might be kind of bending a little bit. Real subtle. And now I'm going to take off the mask of that sentiment. You can see I'm having a hard time. I did allow this to dry a little bit before taking that off, and I think that might have been a mistake. So when you take off your mask, if you try this, take it off pretty quickly while the glitter gel is still a little bit wet, and that'll allow you to take that mask off easier. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this all to a top folding card base, and that'll give it some more stability. And then I'm going to add all of the images with some foam tape. I wanted these to pop off that glittery background, so just going to add some foam tape here to all of them. And then to add them to the background, I will add a little bit of liquid adhesive. That gives it a little bit more time for me to move it around on there, and I think it also sticks better when you're using a glittery background like this. It hangs on a little tighter. So I'm just going to add all of these images, and it's kind of like he's in his own little pumpkin patch here, picking out his pumpkin. To finish off the mushrooms, I'm adding some liquid pearls in a blue shade, and these really pop from the background. They're kind of like Nuvo drops, but I feel like they have more of a dimension to them. So here's a look at our card today. We've got lots of dimension with those liquid pearls, with the foam tape, the glitter gel in the background. I hope you can see that. And this really happy gnome who is choosing a pumpkin. Time for pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this process video today and enjoyed putting all of this together with the new stencils for Missing Stamps. I really had a good time putting this together, and I appreciate all your thumbs up, likes, comments, and thank you so much for coming back again and again. It really does help me out with YouTube so much. Leave me a comment today and let me know if you like to use glitter in your card making as well, or what your favorite kind is, so I can take a look. I will be back real soon with more card making inspiration. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.